5 work from home jobs that you can do in 2021 that pay well. These aren't just jobs we Googled. These aren't just jobs we researched. These are jobs that we have literally done, paying between $20 up to over $100 per hour in freelancing and consulting primarily, but also things that you probably haven't heard of or thought of. As a content creator, you have lots of skills. You have video editing skills, social media management skills, YouTube channel management skills. You can pick up freelancing and consulting jobs with your knowledge of all these social media platforms. And there's other jobs like doing support for different companies. All of these are available. You can cobble them all together to make a full-time income like we have for 10 freaking years. Stick around. We're going to tell you what jobs are out there, how much you can make, how you can get them, so you can maybe actually get the full-time dream of full-time creator going. Let's go. Okay, well, luckily today I have one of the best social media managers in the entire world, Ross A. Dillon, on the podcast as always. And Ross has been a professional social media manager for 10 years or so. I hired him in the first place because he was running a successful social media account on Twitter. I found his Twitter account and I decided I wanted to hire this guy to run social media for my company. And Ross has been doing this for a living for all sorts of folks for a long time. And content creators out there that are watching right now, have you ever heard of the social media platforms, and have you ever posted content to them? Well, you have skills that you can use right now to work from home and make a good living. Ross, tell them about this job that they could potentially get right now with skills they already have.
Yeah, you're already doing social media management as a creator. If you're not, then your plan is probably not, your strategy is probably not working. So based on what you know about how you do your social media strategy, now you can kind of take that. You've got a good understanding of the platforms and you can actually go out and try to book clients for social media. Now, the thing right now, currently with social media, it doesn't necessarily pay that well, but it's a necessity. Every company needs it. Not even companies, even just individual people. They need social media management. It's a very, very time consuming job for them, especially when they don't necessarily know how social media works. This is why you, as a creator who has experience in this space, who has experience in YouTube marketing, social media, even if you don't have experience in social media marketing, you know how it works. The easiest thing to do to get in is, number one, put together like a portfolio of all the social media work that you've done, tally up all the numbers, do what you got to do. And then the next thing, all you have to do, pull out your phone right here, just like I'm doing right now, and then go to like Fiverr.com or go to freelancer.com. LinkedIn has a job page. Indeed has job pages. Monster.com has job pages. Everywhere has a freaking job page. All you have to do is type in the keywords social media remote or social media work from home, and you're going to see a whole list of jobs come up. And the good thing is, a lot of times they're actually looking for employees, but a lot of times also they're just looking for consultant work. They're not looking for a part-time employee. They're not looking for a full-time employee. They're looking for someone whose only job is to just focus as a consultant on social media management. So that is how I personally got in and started doing it. I put together my portfolio, like I just told you, and I went and started looking for jobs. There were a lot of things. And the good thing with social media doing this is you can kind of jump into things that interest you. It doesn't have to be in the creator space.
I love it. And one thing to keep in mind, so $20 to $35 an hour with little consulting jobs, essentially, that you can cobble together and maybe get multiple clients, right? And so that's something that I know you do. That's not all you do right now. And one thing that's cool about doing social media management as a creator, as a streamer, and as an influencer is these companies, if they love you, they'll hire you full time. My more recent employer, Raging Bull, they brought me on board as a consultant, and they eventually onboarded me for a six-figure executive salary to run social media for their company. The same thing happened with my employer before that, TGN, and also Broadband TV. They saw what I was doing on social media. They brought me on board to do a little bit of social media work for them, YouTube work for them, and then they onboarded me, and I eventually made a good salary with them. I actually got up to 6 figures at one point as well. So this can be a foot in the door with companies that are growing or with larger companies that can lead to full-time employment opportunities if you're interested too. So job number one we talked about today, social media management. You can get this in a freelancing and consulting capacity as a creator, posting on all of those job sites that Ross just mentioned. But wait, there's more. There's a very simple, whoa, hold on. If you stay tuned, I've got another work from home job for you that you can easily, and then you guys are gonna be like, oh yeah, this is a no-brainer. And it's YouTube channel management, YouTube channel strategy, and just somebody to actually operate somebody's YouTube channel. So I'm talking about making the thumbnails. I'm talking about doing all of the rest of the metadata and the research. I'm talking about answering comments and doing moderation. I'm talking about managing things like account security and access, stuff like that. A lot of YouTubers, big ones like that are doing this for a living, they hire people to manage their YouTube channel for them so that they can spend as much time as possible creating content. And a lot of YouTubers have 5, 6, 7 channels, and they don't want to ever look at their channel again. They just want a YouTube manager to actually do it for them. Also, there are media companies, startups, and every company of any variety at this point needs a YouTube person on board that actually understands the platform, understands the algorithm, listens to podcasts like ours, and is obsessively studying these algorithms to advise them on what the hell they should be doing on YouTube. Most companies, 90% plus of companies and startups and small businesses are clueless about YouTube, but they know they want to get into it. And so what do? They search for freelancers and consultants to advise them on that. And they'll discover you on a lot of those exact same job sites that Ross just said. Name those out loud one more time. I want all of you guys to write these down. These are places that you can be discovered. Ross, hit them with those job sites again, because YouTube channel managers can be discovered there too.
These are just the apps that I have on my phone. Obviously, there are probably hundreds of them online. These are the most popular ones that I've had success with. LinkedIn, an obvious one for social media management. By the way, keep up with your LinkedIn profile too if you're in social media management, because that looks really bad if you don't. Indeed, jobs.com, Monster, Job Search, Freelancer, and Fiverr are the two where you can find like individual jobs where they just have like one specific job that you need to do, like projects mostly. And once that project's over, your job's kind of over. It's just like a resume builder at that point. But you can also earn some really good money on those sites as well. I mean, you can set your own rate. There are people on there setting their rate for like $40, $50 an hour and getting hired because the people that go to these sites are wanting their project to be done right. They don't have time to build up and teach you how to do your job. They want you to come in and be an expert right away. And you can do that with everything that you already know as a creator.
That's right. And so these YouTube channel management jobs that are out there, which by the way, there is way higher demand right now in the market for these jobs than there are people that can supply those jobs. These companies are desperately looking for people. And creators are desperately looking for people that really, truly understand these platforms and can do the job right. And the YouTube channel manager jobs will pay anywhere between $25 an hour up to $40 an hour, US dollars. That is good money. So imagine, so far, we've told you about work from home job number 1, social media management. Maybe you pick up that gig, do 10 hours a week. Okay, job number 2, you pick up a YouTube channel management job. You get 10 hours a week off of that. Boom, now you've got 20 hours a week of work that's paying you good money, and you've diversified between multiple clients in case one of them goes down. At least you've got the other one. But wait, there's more. So also, this is the number 1 job that is in the highest demand on the internet from what I've seen. And this coming from me, I've hired about 100 creative professionals and consultants in my time. Whether that be all of these jobs I'm talking about today, I've hired people to be these for me in different companies. And the one that is in the highest demand and has the lowest supply right now is video editors. Everyone is looking for high quality video editors, and they cannot hire enough high quality video editors. So I'm not talking about garbage editors that just got started or watched a few tutorials. I'm talking about people that have edited hundreds of videos and actually relentlessly study all of the different techniques that are involved in video editing. These companies don't care what your degree is. They don't care if you went to a university for media production. They don't care about your resume. All they care about is seeing your portfolio of your work. And so if you know how to edit videos, which 100% of you watching right now know how to edit videos, If you want to get good, very high paying work as a video editor, video editing freelance and consulting video editing work pays anywhere from $25 up to $75 per hour as a freelancer and a consultant, depending on how good you are. Maybe even beyond that, depending on how good you are as a videographer and an editor. But if you really want to get those high paying gigs, or if you really want to score these gigs, you need to have a killer looking portfolio, which you need to have on a website that you can link people to. And the website can be very simple. It can be just who you are, what you do, and then a video reel they can just hit play on. And all you want is for the client to see the actual work you've done and be like, wow, that's pretty good. That's it. That's all that's needed. You don't need to talk them up. You don't need to say anything else. Done. They will hire you. So making a killer reel of your work that impresses clients, you'll just get the initial gig. And then once you have the initial gig, if you do good work for them, they'll hire you for more, for more, for more. And once you get in with a couple video editing gigs, you will have so much work that you'll be spending more time than you want turning down work. I'm telling you from experience, I've got a network of video editors that I work with, freelance and consulting ones. Anytime any of the creators I coach are looking for something to staff up for their channel, the first thing they're trying to staff up is editors. And so they're like, AWOL, can you help me find an editor? I can't find any good editors anywhere. And so I'll refer them to 5 editors that I work with. And 4 out of the 5 editors I'm working with, they're like, AWOL, I'm sorry, but I'm booked through June 2021. That's how high demand editors are right now. Good ones. So if you want to get a good high paying job that you could add up to like a 70, 80, 90, $100,000 plus per year, freelancing, working from home, it's video editing. Have you had the same experience there, Ross?
Yeah, video editing goes hand in hand with social media. Every company has right now, because of the internet, has to have some form of media, multimedia. So they have to have a YouTube channel. They have to have social media content. And video editor is the thing that kind of brings all of that together because, as we know, video content performs the best. Now, another thing that we probably haven't mentioned yet, you're probably sitting at home thinking, all this consulting stuff sounds great. But I really want to focus on my live streaming and my content creation. Totally understandable. And just because you're consulting and booking all of these gigs, just remember, and I will attest to this, AWOL can attest to this as well, the sooner that you get your materials together for these jobs, the sooner that you get into the rhythm of doing it, we're talking about what was 10 hours a week may all of a sudden go down to 2 or 3 or 4, 5 tops hours a week. And then you're still making the same amount of money. And then you still have even more time to actually focus on your own material. The more you get into the pattern of doing things, the faster you get. So after that initial getting to know, getting started, and getting in that rhythm, you're actually going to have probably more time than you would, making more money than what you would if you actually had a full-time job.
That's right. And so a lot of people that are trying to be a full-time creator or full-time streamer, they're thinking, I need to put more time into the streams to get there. I need to put more time into the videos to get there. I need to put more time into replying to comments and engaging with my community to get there. And what I'm telling you right now is that most of the creators that I've ever seen go full-time, I'd say 4 out of 5, got there by doing freelancing and consulting while they're working from home to supplement their income. And that income that they were getting from freelancing and consulting propped them up, bought them gear in their studio, paid their bills for years while they were building their channel on the side. And it allowed them to avoid having to do a regular full-time job, a 9 to 5, whether that was working from home or otherwise, so that they could have the freedom to actually stream and actually create content. So freelancing and consulting in these jobs that we're telling you about today are the highest probability path to success if you want to become a full-time content creator or streamer, based on my own experience. I work with these creators all the time. I get them jobs all the time. And they come to me and they're like, look, AWOL, I'm making 1 video a week on my YouTube channel. I'm also streaming, but the money is wobbling a lot on my YouTube channel with my AdSense, and I need to support my family. And so I'm like, okay, come work for the company I'm working for. Boom, all of a sudden they have a stable foundation of such and such $1,000 per month to put in the bank. And then they keep making content on top of that. content creation dream achieved, but maybe in a different way than you guys were thinking. And you might not like what I'm saying, but I'm telling you, it is the highest probability path to success. Those are the 3 jobs so far, but we promised 2 more. So far, social media management, video editing, and YouTube channel management, all high-paying jobs. Job number 4 you can do right now to try to become a full-time creator is graphic design. So have you guys ever, Ross, have you ever in your adventures making content on the internet made some sort of graphics or images or something like that?
Literally never. Actually, I mean, it's literally, literally every single day. And the beautiful thing about graphic design is, and the beautiful thing about all of this actually is, even if you don't know to do it, you've already tuned out. If you're thinking, well, I don't know how to do any of this, tuned out. If only there was some avenue you could go to and just type in a search and get thousands and thousands of videos on how to do everything. There are websites like Canva. There's even Be Funky, PicMonkey, where they're literally free sites that have all the graphic tools that you need right there on that site. You don't have to go and learn Photoshop to put together amazing thumbnails. I mean, we use Canva for our thumbnails and they look fantastic. So adding that to your resume and getting jobs like that, just don't think that just because I don't have experience in graphic design, there are tools out there that make it so much easier for you. Put yourself out there. You'll be surprised. Put together some samples, use your thumbnails and add these to your portfolio.
Yeah, and a lot of folks will tell you you've got to learn Photoshop. Obviously, eventually, if you want to be a professional graphic designer and like only do graphic design for your entire job, Photoshop, of course, is mandatory for that. Yep. And so let's talk about the money you can earn as a graphic designer. On the lower end, just doing some basic designs for different companies or clients that are looking for social images or promotional images, things like that for their company, you can be making $20 an hour-ish down there toward the lower end. And as your skills increase and you become more and more of an expert and you learn Photoshop and you get practice, you can actually be making $100 per hour or more as a graphic designer. I've worked with graphic designers that have like 10 years of experience and their designs are, God, so good. And the amount of money you get paid in this space is directly proportional to how good your designs are. And so just like video editing, if you put together an incredible portfolio on a website, you just send clients there and they're like, hey, I hear you're a graphic designer like every other jackass on the internet. Let me see what you got. And then you send them a portfolio that looks amazing. You can just ask them for any price you want. These companies want amazing designs, a lot of them, and they're willing to pay whatever it takes because they know that if they pay you $50 an hour, $75 an hour, $100 an hour to make those incredible designs they see in your portfolio, if you send them over, that they'll be making thousands, tens of thousands, millions more dollars each year because those designs are going to get clicks and they're going to convert customers. So graphic design is something where there's a way higher demand than there is supply right now in the market for good graphic designers. It's just, the money is just sitting there, just waiting for you guys to go take it. And the thing is, 9 out of 10 of you listening right now to the podcast, you won't do it. You're like, I don't think I can do that, or maybe that sounds all right, or I'm just gonna, stream on Facebook for 7 hours a day and see if that works out. What if you took 2 hours a day out of your time of doing a stream that's not getting that many views, and instead you trained yourself on how to do Photoshop or how to edit videos? Then in a few months from now, you can be making $30, $40, maybe $50 an hour as a video editor and as a graphic designer. These are real paying jobs that you can do from home right now. The opportunity's there. If you want to go take it, cool. And I've saved the best job for last. It can pay $150 per hour or more. And I'm going to tell you all about it. I actually do this job. The sexiest job to do from working from home. Are you ready?
Talk about that, big boy.
Yeah, I'm going to talk dirty about that freelancing job. So Ross has done similar stuff to this, right? As well. And we can both talk about it. But these aren't gigs that pay you $20 an hour or $30 an hour. These are the kind of gigs that can pay you a lot more. And this is called, I'll call it like, it's like strategist, management, business, level consulting for businesses or for creators, where they're looking for an expert in social media, video editing, YouTube, even setting up their home studio, the technical elements, and they're looking for your advice on it. Or they're looking for you to actually manage all of it for them or hire people for them. And as an expert, you can charge a premium to companies to provide freelancing and consulting to companies, because creators out there, you guys do all of those things, right? You do social media management, you do video editing, you do graphic design, you maybe even have your own editors yourself, etc. Maybe you have management experience you have outside of this space. Well, companies are willing to pay you for that strategy level stuff, that business level stuff, that management level stuff in the social media space. And you can charge companies for that freelancing and consulting easy, if you're good at it, $50 an hour, $75 an hour, $100 an hour. In my case, my minimum rate I charge people is $150 an hour. And some clients pay me $250 per hour for that. You might be like, bullshit. Just go to my website, awoldigital.com. I got 100 people booking me per month off that website. It's $150 an hour if you want to book me. So let me give you an example. Just this week, I had a high school teacher who's trying to do a film festival with his students. But he's watched a bunch of YouTube tutorial videos on OBS and webcams, and he did 80% of the work, but he just could not figure out how to finish it up so that everything connected and so that the signal went out to YouTube, and the film festival's coming up he wants to do for his students, and he just needed an expert to fix the problem for him so that shit would work. So he found one of my YouTube videos about OBS and he booked me for $150 for 1 hour of my time, and I fixed it, and the film festival happened. So people are willing to pay you to solve their problems, to fix stuff. Let me just share another example of another regular everyday person that's willing to pay me $150 an hour. So there's a college professor is trying to do online teaching right now. I've got a bunch of college professors that book me, and they're trying to engage their students. Their students are not paying attention to them anymore because they can't have them in a classroom. And so they're realizing they need to step up their game with webcams and microphones and, you know, all the things you guys know about in the audience. But they don't know the first thing about even where to even plug in their webcam. I'm not joking. They don't even know how to use a mixer. What is a mixer even? They've never even heard of this stuff. And so they would rather talk to a human being to help them set all this stuff up than watch 100 YouTube tutorials and try to slog through it. So to them, paying me $150 for an hour of my time to talk them through it, to walk them through it, to do a screen share, and to get everything hooked up, it's a transformational experience that now has them, instead of being a crappy professor talking through a laptop, mic and cam, now they've got a Logitech Brio with a Blue Yeti there, and then now they as a professional are at the next level. These are just two real life examples of regular everyday folks, not mega media corps, not rich people, that will pay you a lot of money for basic skills you already have about using microphones, using webcams, using OBS, using editing software, because they want to talk to a human. $150 an hour. That's how much I make.